This is why culture matters. This is the ROI of culture. This is why culture is not a buzzword. And people who don't think culture matters and they think culture is a buzzword and da-da-da. How's that turnover? Loving that? No? Okay, cool, great, this is for you. Here we go, I'm gonna share 8 things that are the ROI. This is why culture matters. Number 1, retention. Kind of important right now. How do we retain and keep the employees that we have? And how do we not just keep them, how do we keep them happy and productive and doing awesome work? Culture matters. People want to stay for a company where they're treated well, where they have a good intentional culture, where they don't dread going to work every single day. Retention is a huge culture, employee experience. It matters. Number 2, morale. Happy employees are productive employees. They stay longer. Retention, I already mentioned that, but like morale, culture, the environment that you work in, like how do people treat each other? What does it feel like to come to work? That I don't have to work with a bunch of assholes. Like morale is improved when culture is great, when it's intentional, when leaders are, everybody walks the same talk. We're all understanding like what are the rules of engagement here to like operate together and work as a team. Morale is huge. When you have low morale, everything sucks. When you have high morale, everything is great. Number 3, this one might be a little bit of a sidewinder. I don't think companies are necessarily aware of how much this matters, but time wasting. Leaders are spending most of their time putting out fires and dealing with stuff that happens only in toxic cultures, personality conflicts, HR issues, problems with customers, all these kinds of things. Like your high salaried leaders in your organization that are paid more money are wasting those dollars by putting out fires that are caused by having like toxic culture, poor behavior, like unproductive teams, all that kind of stuff. Like you are wasting a lot of money and high paid people dealing with those things. Number 4, wait, I only did 3 fingers. I'm gonna confuse everybody. There, okay. Number 4, social capital and reputation. Consumers want to do business with organizations that treat their employees well. It matters, your reputation, what people say about what it feels like to work for you, all those kinds of things in your community, whether you're a mom and pop store or organization, or you're like a giant Fortune 500, your reputation, your social capital has a huge impact on your bottom line. Do people like you? Do your employees talk badly about working for your company or not? Those things matter 100%. Great culture, better reputation, better social capital. Number 5, better services, better product. When you have a great culture and your employees are productive, they care about the company, they take pride in the company, they make less mistakes, they provide better customer care to customers, they're more willing to like address something that's broken, like your service, they do less sloppy work when they're also engaged and they care and they take pride in their work, so you have less mistakes in whatever products that you're making, the services that you're rolling out, and customer experience is hugely impacted by like what is the culture internally inside the organization. Number 6, not enough fingers. Number 6, attracting talent. It is a huge, huge benefit when you're interviewing candidates and potential candidates when you can speak about culture. A lot of candidates are asking, what is a culture like here? What does it feel like to work here? To be able to speak articulately, not about like, here's our list of values, but truly this is what culture means to us. These are the ground rules of engagement. If you have something you can actually show to them, like this is our culture, and not just talking about culture, that you walk the talk, that internally, like you do the work of like, this is how we reinforce this is how we live this is how we sustain the culture that we have, and this is specifically what it is. The more clearly that you can speak to what is your culture, how do you maintain and sustain it, how are you committed to it, right? The clarity of it, the commitment to it, how consistent you are with it is huge. And when you can speak articulately to candidates in the process of that, like that's a huge benefit to you, because I know that the other organizations that those candidates are applying for cannot speak to culture that way. It gives you a huge leg up and a huge advantage in the marketplace. Number 7, you might not think of this as an obvious and evident thing, but resistance to change. In a great culture where employees like love the company, they love each other, they work well together, they are less resistant and reluctant to change. And not just reluctant to change, like in toxic cultures, people are so adverse to change that they sabotage change. Like this is a huge thing. I know that like employees being open and receptive, right, to be like, have change agility, all those types of things like is greatly improved when you have a great culture, because people are like, oh, you're asking me to do this now? Okay, because I have enough trust with you. I like this company, I have pride in what I do. Way, way less challenges with big changes and little changes when you have a great culture. Number 8, maybe also not immediately evident when you think about this, but promoting from within. When you have a great culture, people stick around longer, so then you're promoting leaders from working up inside the organization. If you have high turnover and the longest person that's been there has been there for for 6 months or a year, it's harder to move those people up in the organization. So when you have a great culture, people stick around longer and they care about their jobs, it's easier to pick leaders from within and promote from within because you don't have this high turnover where like no one's worked here for very long. Bonus, I said I was only gonna have 8, but like here's the other thing I wanna say to wrap this up. Why wouldn't you want a great culture? If you have a terrible culture, everything sucks. There's more problems across the board. A great culture is like, it's the right thing to do. I think it's like the greatest, highest purpose of leadership is like create an environment that people want to work, they want to try hard, they want to stay there. It's like, this should be #1 priority for every leadership team. You are not like, right? Be a people leader, not a manager. People can do their jobs. Your role is to do the highest level, bigger picture strategy stuff to be like, how do we make this a place where people can thrive and kick ass? Thanks for watching and tuning in. Subscribe to our channel. We put a lot of content on here. You can also subscribe to the Culture Drop mailing list and get these emails in your inbox every Tuesday morning. Follow our social media channels. Put a lot of free content out about just being more awesome and building great teams.